Lucille Ball, Aaron Sorkin, and Desi Arnaz walk into a bar. And instead of this being the setup for a joke, it's the setup for what is potentially my favorite movie of 2021. Hey y'all, today we are reviewing Being the Ricardos, Aaron Sorkin's newest written and directed film starring Nicole Kidman and Javier Bardem as the iconic American couple both on screen and off, Lucille Ball and Desi Arnaz, aka Lucy and Ricky Ricardo. I was lucky enough to attend an early screening of this film, and I was absolutely blown away from start to finish and fully invested in the story, which has so many amazing actors in it, so much great writing, and so much great directing, which we'll get into in a little bit. Being the Ricardos follows a week in the life of Lucille Ball and Desi Arnaz, as well as the production of their show, I Love Lucy. It follows different scandals that are pertaining to the couple's life, as well as how those affect not only their marriage, but potentially the imminent downfall of their iconic sitcom. Now, I Love Lucy is about as ingrained into American culture as is apple pie and country music, but I think this movie has such a great kind of peek behind the curtain at what life is like being a Hollywood power couple, as well as what was going on behind the picture perfect FCC approved version of America on television versus the things that go on behind the scenes. I think Nicole Kidman gives one of her best performances in this film, and I can't say I was necessarily a fan of hers beforehand, so I need this to be known. This is very high praise that I am giving her. I think she did an incredible job in this movie, being able to portray kind of the things that Lucy had going on in her mind, or what was imagined because of all the public things, how much that impacts someone that even though they are a larger than life figure, you can really tap into those deeper, more human emotions that everyone goes through no matter whether you're a star or not. And I think kind of the character examination that this film does on Lucille Ball is really incredible. Behind the scenes, you really see she wanted to be seen as a real creative powerhouse and also someone that demanded respect on stage. Up against Nicole Kidman is Javier Bardem though, and I think the two make a really perfect pairing. Their chemistry was fantastic in the film, and this is one of the lighter performances I've seen Javier Bardem do. We would say all of the best performances from his career involve No Country for Old Men and Skyfall, but the man really knows his way around comedy and again is able to dig into those really, really deep emotions that weren't portrayed by Ricky Ricardo on I Love Lucy, but that were of course unspoken truths that Desi Arnaz, as a Cuban American making his way in Hollywood, had to figure out and deal with. This film is very much a two-hander. I would say it leans slightly heavier on Lucy and the things that she is going through in the film, but Javier and Nicole are supported by an amazing cast that includes a ton of comedy favorites whose names I will pop up on the screen because I cannot remember them right now, but also J.K. Simmons, who again gives such an outstanding supporting actor performance in here. I could so easily see him being nominated because he just really felt like the voice of reason in this film, as well as great comedic relief, which you usually don't find that sort of mentor and fool balance in one character, but he really nails it in this movie, and I think I just absolutely loved any time that he was on screen. Now to the man of the hour, Aaron Sorkin. A lot of people have said a lot of things about his directing, and most people praise his screenwriting, but what about this movie? I think this is his best directed movie. It is so much less self-indulgent than Molly's Game was as far as fast direction that matched his witty and quick-paced dialogue, but I think it's a lot more balanced of a pace than I felt like Trial of the Chicago 7 was. So personally, I think Aaron Sorkin has really hit his groove and found the ways that he as a director can really function well. I like that the way that this film splits up a week from Monday through Friday in sort of successive chapters of these dramas that are unfolding in front of a live studio audience as well as behind the scenes. And his screenwriting in this is extremely reminiscent of the play format that Steve Jobs, the film, really portrays. And I know that might not be a lot of people's favorites, but with that film taking place behind some of the biggest Apple events, but really being focused on the more interpersonal dramas that each of those characters are going through as they walk through the halls of the event space waiting for it to happen, that's sort of what this film feels like. Since it takes place on the sound stages and production offices of I Love Lucy, it has that behind the scenes feel while also really focusing on how those interpersonal issues kind of find themselves being worked out in front of that studio audience while they're filming the show or rehearsing for it. Additionally, there wasn't a ton of typical Sorkin walk and talk. I think I only really clocked one of those, so maybe a rewatch would freshen me up on that. But I also really thought that the writing of Lucille as a more complex character kind of reminded me of the way that Jesse Eisenberg's Mark Zuckerberg is portrayed in The Social Network. It just adds these elements of someone who wants to be respected and so talks faster, more aggressively than the other people that they're around because they feel like they need to command the space that they are a part of. And I just felt like that was done so well, not only by Kidman, but of course through Sorkin's words. And I am always going to be a fan of him. I just really enjoy his films, and I thought that was the best part of this. I also really just liked the overall format of this film, with it being told from the perspective of some of the other writers or producers or the director of the episode, as they kind of recalled it from that week and how everything was happening at once, because it was interesting to see the way that they can factually state how certain things were happening, or how Lucy or Desi reacted to certain things on set, or how the actual episode was being written, developed, and unfolded on screen. But to then explore the emotional drama of each of those characters and kind of question what it was that was going through those characters' heads, why they did the certain things they did or said the things they said, was just really fun. And I know I'm kind of just repeating the typical things that happen in a biopic drama, so apologies there, but I felt like this one just really balanced the line between comedy and drama so well that I really think it's one that's going to impress a lot of people when they're able to watch it on Amazon Prime later this month. Ultimately, I think this film is one of my favorites of the year because it has the comedy, it has the great writing, the performances are not lacking in any character, whether kind of background or main focus of the film. And I think it's a subject matter that's super interesting and kind of debunks a little bit of this kind of perfect American 50s household that our modern day lore is based around, because Lucy and Desi were that model. And when you watch this film, you'll understand a little bit why maybe that wasn't as picture perfect as it might have seemed from our television sets. That is going to be it for this review of Being the Ricardos. I can't wait to rewatch this one and to hear y'all's thoughts. So when you do get to watch the film, please comment down below your thoughts on the film, and be sure to like this video because it really helps out the channel. And also do not forget to hit subscribe if you did enjoy this review, because I make plenty more of these, as well as trailer reactions, as well as episode breakdowns for some of your favorite TV shows. So you're not going to want to miss any of the content that I make. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have an absolutely amazing day or night whenever you're getting to watch this, and I will see you all in my very next video. Bye, y'all.